Online are saying we are the media now. Well, I celebrate that. I celebrate the citizens being more involved and doing active research and learning what's going on, because we have been lied to. We've been deceived on a mass scale. But with us becoming the media, we have to learn how to get to the truth and cut through that which is fraudulent and harmful to the real cause. So some of the things that I've learned through being a federal criminal investigator, having friends at high-ranking officials in the intelligence community and all of this, I've written down some notes, and here's just some things that I know will be helpful for anybody researching online. Number one, learn to vet the initial source. Don't listen to a friend or somebody that says, here's a story, especially if it's an outlandish or crazy story that doesn't sound true. Look at the original source. Who originally put that out? That's who you want to look for as you're doing your search, because that's who you need to vet. Vet means verify. Look through their background. Are they a person of integrity? Are they truthful? What have they done with their life? Now, when you're looking at their actions, a lot of times you can basically turn the volume off of somebody and not listen to what they say. Look at what they actually do with their life. Someone's not going to waste their life doing something that's opposite of their values. So what have they done? Have they served their country in good faith, or have they been a criminal? Those are two kind of opposite ends of the spectrum. If they're accurate or if they're not accurate, that's something you're going to start with. What have they spent their life doing? What actions have they taken? How much time have they put into the things that they're doing? What's their integrity? Do they tell the truth even when it costs them, or do they just blow with the wind according to whatever's going to get them the most attention or the most money? Have they sacrificed to hold a straight line? What are the results that they've gotten? Are they actually effective at whatever they do? Those things all help you ascertain the quality of that source. And what is the accuracy of their information over time? In the intelligence community, that's how it's done. You assess the information that comes out of a source, and does it prove to be true or not true? And how many times out of 10 or 100 are they accurate? And if it's 100 out of 100, you got yourself a strong source. But if it's 1 out of 10 or 5 out of 100, that's a poor source. So you have to rate them. What's their percentage of accuracy rating over time, not just through one story. So then you want to you also want to corroborate that story by somebody else who knows that source or can verify that personally from their own access and experience. And you want to vet that source as well if you can. So it can get a little bit involved, but these are principles that will allow you to ascertain whether or not you're getting accurate information from reliable sources. Also, you can look at who are the enemies of the sources. Are their enemies faceless cowards, just trolls on the internet, or are their enemies accountable people with quality results from their actions? That should tell you quite a bit right there. In the end, it's the totality of circumstances. You want to chew the meat and spit out the bone, meaning you want to take in all of the information from all sides, all directions, as much as you have time and bandwidth for, and then make a best assessment. What is proven true? What is proven false? And then put everything else aside as unknown. And due to the totality of circumstances, that's how you're going to make your best assessment of what's most likely true. Here are some examples that I've had to deal with personally of frauds online who have just come after me trying to stop my organization's effectiveness of exposing child trafficking on a mass scale and arresting the predators and putting them into prison with a 100% conviction rate. So number one, we have a gentleman, I use that term loosely, by the name of Daniel John Lee. He begged us to sue him. He was screaming all manner of outlandish defamation against me and a bunch of other Christians and patriots, and he was begging us to sue him. So we did. We went to court. We brought all the factual evidence. Daniel John Lee ran and hid, and the judge found him guilty, and the charge was defamation with malice, and then the court order was for Daniel John Lee to pay $4.65 million in damages. Now, folks, it's important to know that judges do not award judgments for defamation unless the accusations are demonstrated to be patently false. So, $4.65 million for defamation with malice. Daniel John Lee, he was just regurgitating the same exact rhetoric as this other list of people. And these folks are part of a network that make outlandish accusations against honorable people for the sole purpose of shocking their audience online. This all happens online. They'll take somebody whose nose is clean, their life is clean, and make outlandish, shocking accusations against them, the most horrible, horrific accusations possible, and that'll cause people to go, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Let me click on that and look and see what's going on with this story. And then they use that attention and that following to follow up then with a crowdfunding. Hey, we're saving the world from horrible alien invasions, or whatever wild story, like National Enquirer style story, to crowdfund. And people that don't research and don't vet their sources will give these people cash. They raise tens of thousands of dollars at a time. One of these guys just recently did a crowdfunding for $40,000, and he's literally a felon. He's written about being a pedophile and all kinds of other things. So another one is Randy Lynn Erickson. She was saying the same exact things out there. We took her to court too. And like the others, she ran and hid. When it was time to come up and back her accusations with the factual evidence and have her day and win, she ran and hid. Why? Because it was all fake. It's all just talk. It's for clickbait and free cash. But reality bites these people when it comes time to put up or shut up, get in the court of law, and go into a place where professionals prevail and actual truth and facts matter. So Randy Lynn Erickson lost, and the judge's order in her case was $500,000. She's got to pay that or she's in contempt, just like Daniel John Lee. Again, for defamation with malice, folks. So another one, Timothy Charles Holmseth. He claims to be an award-winning journalist. He's never been awarded for being a journalist, and he's never been employed as a journalist by anyone. He's only worked at a local newspaper once. He's been unemployed for years. He's got apparently some pretty serious mental issues. He's been homeless for years. He's a fugitive from multiple warrants and orders of restraint. He's written about being a pedophile in his own online book, and he spends his life trying to ruin mine. He claims to be part of the Pentagon pedophile task force, which never existed. It's notional. It's just fantasy in his mind, but his followers don't research, and they don't know how to vet their source, so they believe it. He says he's part of High Command, which is really just a G.I. Joe cartoon for children. High Command! And his followers are so uneducated, and they don't know how to research, they actually believe him. And so he's got a number of people out there that will fund him and let him continue defaming innocent people for clicks and cash. There's another lady out of Australia, same MO, same fake stories, Fiona Barnett. She has since gone silent several years ago. God bless her. Maybe she's gotten some therapy or found Jesus Christ or something, but she's not out there doing that anymore. So I hope she's gotten help and her life is better now, but I don't know what her deal is. There's another guy they call MLAM, Michael Lewis Arthur Meyer. They call him Screwy Louie here. He's a lifelong criminal and fraud. He creates hoaxes and he runs around screaming into his phone, getting people, again, who aren't educated, that don't vet their sources, and tend to believe anything. They're gullible and don't look at his life of crime and make an assessment that this guy's fake And he's currently pretending to be on the border in southern Arizona, but he's really in Idaho, fleeing 5 warrants for his arrest. So these people, they're all in the same network. They're all the same MO. Make outlandish accusations, run a crowdfunding campaign, and burn innocent, well-meaning people for cash. Same thing. So that's it. If you can look at that, folks, you can realize, okay, let me make sure that I vet my source and who's putting the information out, what's their motive, and can I make an assessment of whether or not that's helpful information or it's accurate information. And a lot of these people will look at a video from someone like Holmseth and say, well, I could tell in 5 seconds this guy was out of his mind. He's a lunatic. He needs to be institutionalized. But a lot of people online, when they just watch, they read the words, they don't know who the source is, and it looks like an official headline. Of course, he's publishing it himself on his own website, and they think, oh, it's a journalist and he's exposed something. No, it's a fraud and he's making stuff up. But if you know how to make the assessment as to whether or not it's legit, then you don't get burned and you don't get embarrassed for repeating it. And you don't do harm to the innocent who are actually doing good work, like some of their followers. So it's important to know fact from fiction online. Those tools, folks, will really help you do that. And those are some of the people that we know to be absolute frauds, and most of them felons with lifelong histories of crime. I celebrate Elon Musk for exposing the Twitter files. I think it's a huge contribution to the American public. Never before did the public on this scale believe that our federal agencies could be this corrupted at the very top and turned against the best interests of the American people. So what the Twitter files are revealing are the official internal documents and communications within the Twitter corporation on how the FBI was pressuring Twitter to silence American patriots, to silence truth on health issues that were directly affecting lives and costing lives, and perpetuating deceit that really is helping destroy this nation. It's unthinkable to contemplate the fact that our FBI is behind a mass censorship campaign, that they're having Twitter launder censorship for a criminal cabal at the top of our federal government. But that's what the Twitter files reveal. And they say that the Facebook is the same thing, only CIA run Facebook. So those of you that have researched know about LifeLog and how Facebook first came out. Then the day before they launched, they switched the name from LifeLog to Facebook. LifeLog was a DARPA program. It was a data collection and information program. And it was all about sucking the data out of the public and learning more, just for big government control. And so you can say that it's theory, but you can research and start finding out through sources that you vet, and you tell me what you learn. Should we continue funding federal agencies that are turning against the American people and silencing the truth against our best interest? I don't know why it's going this way. I just know that there's a global agenda to overthrow the United States, and several of our key federal agencies have been, at the top at least, turned against the American people. And you're only going to learn that by getting in and digging and researching and verifying that which is factual against that which is fiction. So yeah, we're the media now, but we have to learn to research and vet our sources. So the more that we start doing that, and the more that we start networking and sharing the factual evidence that is corroborated and verified, the more accurately we'll have our understanding, and the more powerful we the people can become again, and then hopefully restore legitimacy at the top of these federal agencies and get them back on the side of the American people in good faith, the way that they were founded to do, the way that they were chartered to do, and the way that we are funding them to do. With the border, there have been several things that have spun into rumor that are not factual. Yes, there are a lot of rapes happening from the immigrants that come from Central and South America up through Mexico, all the way across the border into the United States. Sometimes they're raped many times. It's terrible. There are trees that they will strap the people to sometimes and rape them. But when you see a tree with undergarments thrown in it, that's not an actual rape tree. That's what they refer to as a trophy tree. They're two different things. Is there rape to the immigrants? Yes. Is it widespread? Yes, it is. But is a tree with panties and underwear and bras in it, is that a rape tree? No, that's what they refer to as a trophy tree. So just trying to keep it accurate, make note of that and refer to them as such when you're talking about border issues. I hope this information helps you and those you care about. Please share it with those that you want to be empowered with how to arrive at the truth. We've shared it with you in good faith, and we invite you to share back with us any updates that you learn, and we'll add that once we verify it to the list. But we want everybody empowered with the understanding of what's really going on, because only when we understand the truth can we really arrive at how to act and vote in our own best interests and how to make our country the best it can be.